You might call Bill Smith the man of steel and glass.
We built a number of high-rise buildings. We built all building types, basically. And we really like structural steel. We like the way it looks. We like it from constructability. There's a lot of things we like about it. 1,400 tons of steel. So how much steel is 1,400 tons? Well, it's 150 truckloads, semi-truckloads that came from northern Wisconsin. It was fabricated there, brought here and erected. It's like a giant erector set. They punch holes in it and they stick bolts in it and we hope it fits up. So, and then there's 66,000 square feet of glass. So the building is basically all steel and glass.
Smith is talking about the amount of steel and glass neatly organized onto a 6-acre site at 36th Street in Campbell in the Arcadia area of Phoenix, a multifamily rental community he calls Domus.
When you look at the architectural stock of 4-story apartment buildings in Phoenix, they're all the same. I mean, they might change the color of the stucco, but for all practical purposes, they pretty much are, you know exactly what you're going to get from building to building. And so our goal was to look completely outside of the expected, to try for a new prototype altogether.
Smith's steel and glass vision offered some creative challenges for the city's planning and development department.
These unique type structures, sometimes they don't fit into the boxes of the traditional code building structures or building construction types. So what the design team did is they used a construction type that is primarily used for warehouses, which protects the exterior of the building with a fire rating, and then also a lot of times separation from other buildings, but allows you large areas. And so they were able to get a lot bigger buildings than they would have had it been just wood construction. The biggest challenge for me in this project was that there are lots of perspectives and there are lots of goals. And we want to make sure as the city that we look at all of those. And the developer wants to provide a very interesting structure for an economical price, while we, the city, want to make sure that it's safe. Steel loses its structural stability properties when it starts getting hot. And so while it doesn't burn like wood does, we need to make sure that it can resist, it can maintain its structural stability for a certain amount of time. We call them 1 hour, 2 hour fire resistive ratings. With this building, because of the tight site restrictions, they put the pool on top of the parking structure up here. You've got the clubhouse out here, so most of the activities will take place on top of the parking level. We also have these individual towers, which were analyzed by the design team as individual buildings, but then we have catwalks that connect them as kind of a social connection between the two environments.
The developer wanted his community to be a work of architectural art, but he also wanted to be a good neighbor to the residents living next door.
We've had very good relations with the neighbors during the whole construction process. We've created plenty of noise and dust. But I think that they're really pleased that it's in their neighborhood. And frankly, the whole zoning process for the city of Phoenix was exceptional. The people we work with in planning were exceptional. They were very supportive. And I think that the whole neighborhood process here far and away outshines anything that I've experienced in other communities.
While Smith kept his eye on the big picture, he also focused on the smallest details, inside and out.
The famous architect, Mies van der Rohe, said, "God is in the details." We found this fabricator in Phoenix who's been in business for a long time. And these kitchen cabinets are actually, we asked him, instead of putting the veneer on vertically, if he could put it on horizontally. These countertops are fabricated in Italy. They come polished, the sinks are cut out. Most of all the granite that you see in Phoenix is all Chinese granite. It's not as nice. But this is a very refined, higher quality material. We pay twice as much for it as for Chinese granite, but it looks different.
It's a very unique structure. It's very modern looking, and it's exciting to see this type of construction get some diversity in our buildings.
The building is just what you see, a series of horizontal steel beams infilled with huge expanses of glass, either 9 feet typically, or on the top floor is 14 feet. So the idea really is to capitalize on the weather in Phoenix. It's not a stick frame stucco building that cracks and after a few years looks tired. This building 10 years from now will look just the way it looks now with virtually no maintenance. There's nothing to maintain.